Hey there, food lovers. Ever wondered what ancient people used to eat? Well, you're in for a treat. Today, we're diving into the top 5 oldest food dishes that are still being served today. We're talking about recipes that have survived for centuries, from the deserts of Mesopotamia to the bustling streets of ancient Rome. Get ready to have your minds blown and your stomachs rumbling, because we're about to embark on a culinary adventure through time. Let's get cooking. All right, guys, picture this. Mesopotamia, the cradle of civilization like 10,000 years ago. Forget fancy restaurants and Michelin stars. We're talking about the original foodies right here. These guys were way ahead of their time, whipping up hearty stews that would make your grandma jealous. We're talking about big old pots simmering over open fires, filled with chunks of lamb or mutton, fresh veggies like lentils and onions, and a whole bunch of herbs and spices. I'm talking cumin, coriander, mint. They weren't messing around. This wasn't just food, it was fuel for building pyramids, inventing writing, and all that good stuff. And the craziest part, these ancient recipes haven't disappeared. They've been passed down through generations, evolving and adapting, but still holding on to that original Mesopotamian spirit. You can taste history in every bite. Take harira, for example. This Moroccan soup is like the great-great-great-grandchild of Mesopotamian stew. It's got that same hearty base of lamb and lentils, but with an added Moroccan twist: tomatoes, chickpeas, and a squeeze of lemon. It's the perfect comfort food on a cold day. Then you've got koresht, a Persian stew that's been around for centuries. This one's all about those rich, complex flavors with ingredients like pomegranates, walnuts, and dried limes. It's like a flavor explosion in your mouth. So, next time you're craving a warm, comforting stew, remember the Mesopotamians, the OG foodies who started it all. Okay, let's be real, who doesn't love bread? I mean, it's the best thing since sliced bread, right? But guess what? Sliced bread ain't got nothing on flatbread. We're talking about the OG of bread, the one that's been around since the Neolithic period. That's like 12,000 years ago. Back then, our ancestors were grinding grains between stones, mixing them with water and cooking the dough on hot stones. Simple, right? But genius. These early flatbreads were like edible plates, perfect for scooping up stews, dipping into sauces, or just munching on the go. And the best part? Flatbreads are still a staple food all over the world. We're talking naan in India, pita in the Middle East, tortillas in Mexico, and so many more. Each culture has its own unique twist, but the basic idea remains the same. Simple, delicious, and oh so versatile. Imagine sitting around a fire with our Neolithic ancestors, tearing off chunks of freshly cooked flatbread and dipping them into a savory stew. It's like a culinary time machine taking us back to the roots of human civilization. So the next time you're enjoying a fluffy naan with your curry or wrapping up a juicy burrito in a warm tortilla, take a moment to appreciate the ancient history of this humble food. It's a testament to human ingenuity and the enduring power of a good, simple meal. All right, guys, let's talk tamales. I'm talking about those delicious little bundles of joy that have been rocking our taste buds since 5000 BCE. That's right, tamales are older than the pyramids. Can you believe it? These ancient Mesoamericans knew how to party, and tamales were always the life of the fiesta. I'm talking religious ceremonies, harvest festivals, you name it. If there was a reason to celebrate, there were tamales. Now let's break down what makes a tamale a tamale. Picture this. You've got a soft, fluffy mesa dough made from corn, and you spread it out on a corn husk or a banana leaf. Then you load it up with your favorite fillings, savory meats, spicy beans, cheesy goodness, whatever your heart desires. Then you wrap it all up tight, like a little present for your taste buds, and steam it until it's cooked to perfection. The result? A flavor explosion in every bite. And the best part? Tamales are still a beloved dish in Mexico and Central America today. Families gather to make them together, sharing stories and traditions passed down through generations. It's not just about the food, it's about the love and the connection that goes into every single tamale. So next time you sink your teeth into a delicious tamale, remember the ancient Mesoamericans who invented this timeless treat. They knew how to party, and they definitely knew how to make some seriously good food. All right, guys, get ready for this one, because we're about to dive into the world of fermented fish. Now, I know what you're thinking. Fermented fish? That sounds kinda intense. But trust me, this is a culinary adventure you won't want to miss. We're talking about a delicacy that's been enjoyed for centuries, from the Roman Empire to ancient Southeast Asia. These guys were fermenting fish long before it was cool, and you know what? They were onto something. Let's start with the Romans. They had this thing called garum, a fermented fish sauce that was like the ketchup of their time. Seriously, they put it on everything. It was a staple in Roman cooking, adding a savory, umami punch to all sorts of dishes. Now, garum might sound a little out there, but think about it. We still love fermented foods today. Soy sauce, kimchi, sauerkraut, these are all fermented goodies that add a unique depth of flavor to our meals. And when it comes to fermented fish, there are some modern-day equivalents that are still super popular. Take fish sauce, for example. It's a staple in Southeast Asian cuisine, adding a salty, savory kick to everything from pad thai to pho. Then you've got surströmming from Sweden. This one's for the truly adventurous eaters. We're talking fermented Baltic herring that's usually eaten outdoors because of the, shall we say, unique aroma. So, the next time you see a jar of fish sauce or hear whispers of surströmming, remember the ancient Romans and their love of fermented fish. They were pioneers of flavor, and their legacy lives on in the delicious and sometimes pungent world of fermented foods. Okay, we've talked about savory stews, ancient breads, and even fermented fish. Now it's time to satisfy our sweet tooth with a dish that's as old as time itself. Asher, also known as Noah's pudding. Legend has it that this sweet pudding-like dessert dates back to biblical times, when Noah and his family were sailing the high seas on the ark. As the story goes, they were running low on supplies, so Noah threw together all the remaining ingredients he had: grains, dried fruits, nuts, and voila, Ashur was born. Now, whether or not this story is true is up for debate, but one thing's for sure. Ashur is a dish steeped in history and tradition. It's a symbol of hope, abundance, and the goodness that can come from unexpected circumstances. Imagine Noah's family huddled together on the ark, sharing this sweet, comforting pudding as they waited for the floodwaters to recede. It's a heartwarming image, right? Today, Ashur is still a beloved dish in Turkey and parts of the Middle East, especially during the Islamic month of Muharram, which commemorates the story of Noah and the ark. Families gather to cook massive pots of Ashur, sharing it with neighbors, friends, and those in need. It's a beautiful tradition that celebrates community, generosity, and the enduring power of food to bring people together. So, next time you're craving something sweet, why not try making some Ashur? It's a delicious way to connect with history, culture, and the stories that have been passed down through generations. And there you have it, folks. 5 ancient dishes that have stood the test of time and are still making our taste buds dance today. From hearty stews to sweet puddings, these culinary treasures offer a delicious glimpse into the past, reminding us of the ingenuity and creativity of our ancestors. Who knew that something as simple as food could connect us across centuries and cultures? So, next time you sit down to a meal, take a moment to appreciate the history on your plate. You never know what stories those flavors might tell. If you enjoyed this trip through culinary history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. See you in the next video.